This is Marc Rudov, branding advisor to CEOs and author of Be Unique or Be Ignored, the CEO's Guide to Branding. Today I'm going to talk about what is a market. There isn't a subject in the business world more important, more misunderstood, and more misused than this one. I don't care whether you're the chairman of the board of a large corporation, the founder of a fledgling startup, or an MBA student. If you learn this lesson, it'll make a huge difference in your business career. Let's use a handy analogy. Fishing. The root of fishing, I'm sure you would agree, is fish. In the art of fishing, there's only one fish. The line is not a fish. The rod is not a fish. The fisherman is not a fish. And the boat is not a fish. There's no ambiguity. So the root of fishing is the fish, just as the root of marketing is the market. And if you don't understand what the market is, you can't possibly understand what marketing is, and you can't do it. And of course, by extension, you can't do branding either, because marketing is a subset of branding, where the branding is the very tip of the arrowhead. It's what makes the connection to the market or the customers. Nothing else is a market, but you would never know that if you live in the business world. It is full of ambiguity and it causes lots of problems. Let me make it clear. There can be no ambiguity when it comes to market. Let's clarify the terminology. There are three entities in commerce, and they are not interchangeable. Industry is the supply side. It's where the products and the services come from. The market is the demand side, people and places. And the marketplace is the nexus in the middle, where you convey, price, and promote your products. And by the way, I cover this topic in chapter 4 of Be Unique or Be Ignored. So please get the book to review the material. And as I said before, this is really critical material, because if you don't get it, then your business career is going to be mediocre at best, and you'll have a lot of failures. So let's examine the situation. Not a day goes by without a business article in Wall Street Journal, Fortune, Forbes, Business Week, erroneously equating a product to a market. There's no excuse for this. I constantly see references to non-existent wireless, mobile, smartphone, and clean tech markets, to name a few. None of these is a market, not one. Let me repeat that. None of these is a market. Wireless, smartphone, and clean tech are technology and product categories, not markets. And such inexcusable confusion is equal in egregiousness to an accountant blithely mislabeling assets as liabilities. A doctor interchanging vein and artery. You know, if a doctor were to do this, she'd be laughed out of the hospital and probably fired, because people could die. It's a dumb mistake. They don't do it in the medical field, just as they don't do it in the legal field. A lawyer cannot say in court, opening argument. It's not allowed. Argument contains legalese, and by definition, legalese is not allowed in the opening statement. A judge would throw it out. A lawyer would be laughed out of court. He has an opening statement and a closing argument. There's never any confusion. Yet, in the business world, people throw around market all the time to mean everything under the sun, and therefore it means nothing. By doing so, they destroy brands, destroy competitiveness, and the media, I must say, perpetuate the problem by doing the same thing. So any word that means everything ends up meaning nothing. Words matter, words have meaning. People say the job market. There's no job market. They say the stock market. It's really a marketplace. Where you buy your food is called a supermarket. It's really a marketplace. When you sell your house, well, we're going to put our house on the market. What are you going to do? Put it on somebody's head? And of course, you have products called markets, as I explained before. The only definition of market is people, customers, a group of customers. Whether they're grouped by geographic or demographic parameters, a market is always customers and nothing else. If you think that your product is a market, guess what you're going to focus on? You're going to focus on your product, and you're never going to understand your customers. That is really key. When most people are doing marketing, they're actually doing producting. This is what I explain in chapter 4 of my book. Producting means you worship your product, you think about your product day and night, and you believe that your product is the be-all and end-all, the solution to all problems. And you miss opportunities all the time that smaller companies, more nimble companies, are going to take from you because you're too focused on yourself. You're focused internally. Look at your homepage. Product worship. All your messaging, both verbal and written, to employees and the external world is product-centric. You are producting, not marketing. When you're doing marketing, when you're doing branding, you're always focused on the outside of your company. To reiterate, the root of marketing has to be market, just as the root of fishing is fish. Makes sense, doesn't it? In conclusion, make sure that you and your staff and all of your business partners are on the same page when it comes to market. Then you can succeed at marketing and ultimately branding. If you don't have that agreement, if you don't have that same level of knowledge and acceptance, it isn't going to work. You're going to have mass confusion, and I guarantee you that your focus will be on products and technologies and not on customers, and that will be a massive branding and marketing failure. You all will be working at cross purposes and going into independent and different directions. A disaster. This is Marc Rudov, branding advisor to CEOs and author of Be Unique or Be Ignored, the CEO's Guide to Branding. Find me and everything about me, including my products and services, at marcrudov.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.